All right, welcome back to the channel. I thought I would jump in here and go over my top 5 wildlife encounters that I've had of 2024. Although, to be honest, there is a contender that just happened yesterday. That was really good. I was out with my dad. I'll show you that here at the end. But yeah, I had put these out as shorts because that is a thing that I horribly neglect on my channel. So hopefully some of you guys have actually already watched these, but I thought it'd be fun to go through them and maybe just tell a couple little stories that happened during these, and or just kind of why I thought they were top 5 for me. And yeah, we'll do just kind of a react style video. So no, he's turning into the lazy YouTuber. He's doing react content now. But and then in the second half, this is out. This is the Colorado Outdoors photography issue that I submitted a few photos for, so we will go over that, see if I made it in. Colorado Outdoors posts a video on their YouTube channel of all of the photos that got selected, so I thought we would watch that together. Again, do a little react video, and I thought we'd go over some of my favorite shots that were in the issue. So let's get right into it with my top 5. This is my number 5 outing of the year. So yeah, let's take a look. These are my top 5 wildlife encounters for 2024, starting with number 5. Here you go. Funny story right off the rip. This was at Lair the Bear Park, and we got there. You can see the parking lot is empty pretty much. We got there at like 6 in the morning. The sun had just come up, and there were any place to park. All of the parking spots were open. I still got a parking ticket though. Actually, I'm lying. I got a very nicely written parking warning because of all of the open spots that were there. What did I pick? So you can see here, it's kind of, the parking spaces are kind of these little chalk, they put down these little chalk lines, and of course they were kind of worn out. So the spot I picked looked like a parking space to me. It actually was sort of the area where people walk through in between the cars. So of course by the time we get done, the place is now packed. We come out of the parking lot is full, and there's my car sitting in the walkway. So people must have thought I was like the biggest jerk, but I didn't know, I couldn't see. So they left me a very sternly written warning on my windshield. And of course, I didn't even realize because I could barely see the lines that morning. But yeah, anyways, here we go. On June 15th, I met some friends at Lair the Bear Park in Jefferson County for some birding, and little did I know, it was really chilly that morning too. I remember I was like full jacket, beanie, and it was June. But once the sun came up, man, I was going to make my favorite photo of the year that day. Our mountain bluebirds had stuck around. You can always get a good shot of a leisurely bunting. Yeah. We've got a great mix of, this McGillivray's warbler was one of the last birds that we saw on the trip. And we kept hearing it, but we weren't able to find it until, well, we finally did. Warblers here too. But there's one species that a good photo had always eluded me of, and that is the western tanager. Yeah, so western tanager, I always see them in the top of trees, like 7,000 miles away. I've got photos of western tanager, but never really a good one. So I had brought up at the beginning of the hike there that I was like, oh man, I really want to see a good look at a western tanager today. So that was about to change. As we hiked a little higher up into the foothills, someone in our group saw the tanager and called out that it was really close to the trail. Yeah, someone in the group was like, oh, tanager real close. And I'm just like, where? I could not see it. And then I finally did. And yeah, when they come in and land on those branches, especially when there's people close by, you know, they're not going to stick around very long. So fortunately, I was dialed with the camera settings. All I had to do was just find it, and then I just started shooting. Fortunately, I was ready with my camera. I had my settings dialed in, and even though this moment only lasted about 10 seconds, it's gone. I made the photo of the western tanager I'd always wanted. Yeah, so that, I think, is my favorite photo of the year that I took, and I had made a couple copies, or I made a couple prints of that when I did my little pop-up shop back in August, and I sold both copies of it. So that was, yeah, pretty cool. And that's also one of the photos I did submit for this. Is it in here? Well, stay tuned. So yeah, that was the western tanager. Let's go to number 4. Yeah, this is somewhat recent. These are my top 5 wildlife encounters for 2024. This is number 4. In mid-November, I cheated. This is actually footage from 2023, this opening part. I cheated. Little YouTube secret. 2 days witnessing the bighorn rut in Waterton Canyon, but this year, the action was electric. Oh man, these guys were just, look at that tongue hanging out, man. These guys, these young rams were just pumped up on testosterone. They were just out of control. It was crazy. On my first afternoon in the canyon,
they were just happened to get there right in time.
Girl. Oh my god. 3 young rams, which were all charged up on testosterone, were trying to steal the ewe of the... They were just relentless. They would not leave her alone. It's insane. Dominant ram there in the herd. And for a while, the alpha ram wasn't really doing... Yeah, I mean, we had seen this alpha ram. He was the one who was obviously, in charge of in this herd. And yeah, he was just chilling. He wasn't really doing anything. And then finally, he came down and was like, okay, Dad's pissed. And yeah, I put an end to it pretty quick. But then...
Is this guy gonna come down and finally take care of business here? Oh yeah.
Yep. Oh man, that was so sick. And just like that, this score is now settled. When that happened, I was like, oh man, I hope my camera... because I did not have my external microphone plugged in. And so I was like, man, I hope it got that crack, pretty well. And it did. And there was a bunch of other people down watching. It was on the weekend, Waterton Canyon. So, of course, it's packed. And there were a bunch of people just in the background. And so, of course, my video picked up all of them talking over the whole thing, too. So I had to do some pretty tricky, creative sort of audio editing here to sort of drown them all out, but I think it turned out really well, so it was awesome. Then on day 2, it was another young ram with a bold move, setting off. What are you doing? I had this herd seemed completely calm. Like I had been watching them for about an hour, and it just seemed like everything was just hunky-dory. They're eating snow and nothing was disruptive. There was nothing going on. And then all of a sudden, this just erupted. And I had almost packed up and left. But fortunately, I didn't. Oh, boom. God, and the way these guys go up the cliff is just so effortless, and it's just crazy to see. That was just full-on chase. It was awesome. Up they go again. It's just up, down, up, down. And man, finally, the young rams that had caused this, they were just panting by the end of it. I think they were just exhausted, and that's why the chase ended. But yeah, that was my number 4. The bighorns this year did not disappoint, unlike those elk that did disappoint this year. All right, number 3. Here we go. These are my top 5 wildlife encounters of 2024. This is number 3. I'm a good employee, but there were 2 rare bird sightings this year that caused me to play a little bit of... So this first one was here, like just literally 5 minutes down the road in this place called Centennial Park. And anyone who may be familiar with this area, who's been to this park, knows that, like, despite what the video looks like right here, like, this looks like a really nice suburban, nice park. Actually, and it is, but it is in this area of Inglewood that is very industrial. Like, there is a waste management dump, like, right next to it. There's all these, like, really industrial, like, warehouses over there. It's not like a really pretty part of Inglewood. But then all of a sudden there's this little park. It is not the place that I would expect a rare bird to pop up, but man, you just never know. Hooky, this first one being just minutes from my house. This least bittern was giving great looks to birders on the shores of a pond in this little city park just miles from my house. They're usually so secretive and hidden. To get this lifer just a few... Yeah, I mean, I've been after a least bittern a couple times. I'll see like a sighting pop up and I'm like, oh yeah, let's go find them. And of course, you never do because they're always so hidden and they just never come out. So to go see this guy, not only in this random park that I would never in a million years think they would be at, but then to have him actually out there pretty visible was awesome. 2 miles away was unbelievable. The other thing that was weird about this, or that made me nervous that day, was this is a big spot. So right along the South Platte, and there's all these little ponds. It's popular for fishing. So all of the birders were on the other side, on the other bank, shooting the bittern across the pond because nobody wanted to get close and actually scare it away, you know. But then who comes walking down the shore right next to this guy? A fisher. And we were like, oh no, the fisher is going to, flush the bird. And he kind of looked over and saw what we were doing. And I don't know if he saw the bird, but he kind of just walked around it and then started fishing like right pretty close. And yeah, the bird couldn't care less. Yeah. And then later in the year, in October, I again had to cancel my afternoon calls and go after an even... Look, I'm not a degenerate, okay? Like, I'm a good employee. I got everything that I needed to get done that day, done earlier in the day, and then I left work to go chase birds. So I'm not a complete degenerate. Rare bird sighting. At Leyden Lake in Arvada, I was there to see this groove-billed Ani, a bird that hadn't been seen in Colorado since 2019. That's true. And this Ani was not in... so obviously, this is not me in the photo. I'm the one filming. There was another photographer there. And the bird kind of bounced right across the trail right in between us. And you could see he was shooting and I was shooting. And we both kind of were just looking at each other like is this happening? Intimidated or scared of people at all, it jumped around in the grass, sometimes just feet away. At one point, while I was sitting on the ground taking low shots, I thought it was... Yeah, I was sitting on this dirt trail, just sitting, crisscross applesauce. And he came bouncing out of the grass, and I was like... I had my 500 millimeter lens, and it was too much lens. I mean, you could see I could barely get him in the frame here. He was so close, and I thought he was gonna maybe jump up on my lap, but it was so crazy. He was actually gonna jump in my lap. Obviously, it never did, but it was an amazing lifer to get that after. I mean, you can see 500. This is 500, and and it's a prime, so there's no way to pull out. You can see, man, he fills up the whole frame. In Arvada. Tune in again tomorrow as we go. Yeah, so that was number 3 for me. Those my 2 favorite rare birds. I missed the Cape May warbler that was at Wheat Ridge Greenbelt earlier in the year. That would have been cool to see. And the other big one that someone reminded me of that I forgot about was, there was that brambling that was down in Colorado Springs. I never went and saw it because I don't know. I did seen some of the other photos that people got, and it was in someone's backyard, which they were totally cool with people coming down to see. But I remember at the time I was like, well, it's not going to make any good photos. And man, I'm an idiot. I should have gone. So that was on me. All right, number 2. This one happened in 2024, but just barely. This was January 1st, so just barely. These are my top 5 wildlife encounters of 2024. This is number 2. On January 1st, my dad and I traveled to northern Colorado to try to... all the way out there in the middle of nowhere. See an elusive species, the short-eared owl. So I had been out for short-eared owls a couple times prior to this and have busted every single time. And usually it is me out there sitting around waiting till it gets close to dark and just hoping one's going to pop up and start flying around and hunting. And of course they never do. I just have spent hours and hours waiting on short-eared owls to have never seen one. As I'm going to say here, it takes a lot of patience from these guys. Like, they're not just sitting there in the open, but Yeah, well, chasing short-eared owls requires discipline and patience as they don't just sit out in the open. Well, except this day. This day, the owls were just sitting right out there in the open. I couldn't believe it. I was like, we pulled down the dirt road to where these guys were. My dad's like, oh, it looks like a bird out there on the fence. And I, put my camera on it. And I was like, yeah, that's the owls. I was like, what the hell's going on? This can't be happening. We were both in a little bit of disbelief, but got right to work photographing and filming the owls in flight. One of the owls flew right overhead. There you go, Dad Hamill making a cameo here. And as it flew low in the field next to us, I made some of the shots of the short-eared owl I've always wanted to make. Man, so, again, in my full video of this, I talked about just how important bird in flight settings and how important it was to just get these right here to make the good shots here. And I saw other people post shots of these short-eared owls that put my photos to shame as far as in-flight stuff, but I was really happy with the way mine turned out. Yeah, that one right there. As the light faded for the day, the owl activity went down, but my dad and I went home very happy. I finally got a good experience with the short-eared owls. Yeah, that was awesome. That was really cool. And I'm glad my dad was able to go out there with me. They were in town. They go to Arizona. They're good retirees. They go to Arizona for the winter. They were back for Christmas holiday. So whenever they're back, I try to take him out to go see some cool stuff, which again, we did yesterday and saw some cool stuff. So stay tuned for that here. But short-eared owls, that was awesome. Glad to finally have an outing with them where it's like, cool, that's what I've always wanted, to just get some good time with them, actually see them, and get some good shots. So, all right, number one, here we go. These are my top 5 wildlife encounters of 2024, and this is number 1. In July, I visited the Oregon coast in an attempt to knock out a bucket list bird. Yeah. I was there for the tufted puffin, which visit Haystack Rock. That first morning when I was here, and actually this is the footage is from, it was really rainy and stormy, and there was like lightning hitting out into the ocean, not that far off the coast. And here I was in my rain jacket, like, no, I must photograph the puffins. I was a little worried that the weather was going to be bad the whole time, because it is the Pacific Northwest, but the forecast looked good for the rest of the week, and fortunately, it was perfect the rest of the week. During the summer, it's one of the only times you can actually see puffins on the West Coast. I was getting some good action throughout the week, but it was that fourth morning where a school of small fish. Yeah, and there was another photographer there. So the school of fish, again, I'm in landlocked Colorado, so I don't know a ton about ocean terms or whatever. But yeah, another photographer was there, and he was like, oh yeah, it's a bait ball. He kept calling it a bait ball. And it's all these little fish. I'm not sure if they were anchovies or little mackerels, or I don't know. But that's what all these birds were swarming there for. I parked just off the coast, and it was giving the puffins ample food to dive for, and made for some great shots. Yeah, that was one of my favorite shots. And I don't even know, I can't tell what kind of fish that is. Is that like a squid? Like all the tentacles, or is that just a bunch of little fish? Like, I can't tell. And these puffins are deceptively fast. Yeah. So you gotta make... Yeah, they're really, really fast. Like, a lot of the in-flight stuff I shot was in slow motion video. So this is to see in full motion just how fast they are. Make sure you're really dialed in with your birds and flight shots, and I think mine turned out pretty well. Yeah. And of course, the other star of this show is the beautiful backdrop of Haystack Rock, the Oregon coast. Yeah, Haystack Rock, incredible. This photo was taken, obviously, at sunset one night, and you see all the silhouettes of all the birds that are up above it flying around. A bald eagle was flying through the area and was getting mobbed by some other smaller birds. I couldn't tell what kind. And just, I think, inadvertently flew towards Haystack Rock. So all these birds had bedded down, and they hear a bald eagle coming, and they just all take off and it literally looked like a volcano like exploding. It was one of the most insane things I've ever seen. It's a highly recommended area to visit. It is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, Oregon coast is awesome. So yeah, but that's my top 5 moments for me this year. And yeah, each one of them was its own really unique experience and adventure, and that's just what I love. Is again, these things, especially like with those rare birds, they just pop up one day. So you never in a million years had plans to go out and see a groove-billed Ani in Arvada. But, you know, as the day goes along, you're like, well, I guess I'm going out to Arvada to see a groove-billed Ani. So anyways, those are my top 5. I hope you guys liked them. And, you know, I think I made pretty good, like, full videos on each one of these too. So, all right, we'll get to part 2 here, Colorado Outdoors. We're going to go over some of the photos that were in this, and that'll be coming up here in just a second. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the first part. Oh, and I'm an idiot. I said I was going to show you what my dad and I saw yesterday, because it was a contender kind of day. So, yeah, we were out yesterday for a couple of stops. We were going to try to find an eastern screech owl, which we missed on, like always. And then we went to the spot in Boulder, which had been seeing a bunch of western bluebirds lately, which is a little bit out of area and definitely out of season for them to be kind of around, but they've been showing up a lot lately on some reports. So I thought, yeah, I'll take my dad to try to go see these western bluebirds, which we found. So here are a few images that I made of them. And this was right by CU campus in Boulder. But yeah, they are, man, they're awesome. Just, they've got those great colors. And then the third sort of Hail Mary attempt, like I said, when he's in town, I like to try to take him to see some cool stuff. We went to an area to try to see a northern pygmy owl, and success. So I've only briefly edited a few of the images that I took yesterday, which was a bunch, but this is one of them, and then here was the other. So we successfully found the northern pygmy owl, which was awesome. And yeah, my dad and I, we've got some pretty good owl luck. So that's what we went and saw yesterday. Okay, part 2 of the video, the big Colorado Outdoors. Yeah, so did I make it? First, let me show you the photos that I submitted. Started with this bull elk that I did get during the rut. It was one of the few days where it was actually good. And again, elk is a tough one to submit for, because you know there's going to be 20,000 elk photos submitted. So even though I knew this was a long shot, I thought it was a pretty good shot. I like all the grass and his antlers there. He had just been down doing that and then went up and gave a big bugle, and with all the grass, I just thought it was a cool photo. Did not get picked. Next photo is my western tanager, which we just went over in my top 5. Again, this is my favorite photo that I made this year, and you know, I think I've already said enough about how hard it had been for me to make a good photo of a western tanager, and I just really like this one. Did not get picked. Next was this juvenile bald eagle out in the Eastern Plains. This was all the way up near Sterling. I just thought him sitting on that fence post with all the tumbleweeds up against it, and then those wind turbines in the background, I just thought it made a really cool photo and was one of my favorites I took this year. Did not get picked. The groove-billed Ani. Yeah, so the deadline to submit photos was October 15th. I took this on October 12th. And once I got these photos home and edited them, I was like, you know, actually, I really like this one. It has a great contrasting background. Again, I was down real low. He was on the side of he was on that little dirt trail, and just happened to be a nice background. So I submitted this photo last minute. It got picked. So that is my photo that made it in. It was a last minute photo, but yeah, this is the photo that got picked for this year's issue. I had also submitted this burrowing owl, which again, a lot of people submit burrowing owl photos. I just thought it was. I think this was the first time I've actually made like a decent shot of a burrowing owl. So maybe I thought of it higher than it actually is. I mean, it's a great photo, but it didn't get picked. But the Groove Build Ani did. So yes, I made it in. So let's go through their video of all of the other photos because there's some really good stuff in there. So let me go to how about right here? Yes, and this is the cover shot right here. Is this wood duck, and shot by a photographer that I know and have been out photographing with before. A real nice guy. His name is Paul Malinowski. So Paul, congratulations on the cover shot, you dog, with this wood duck, this Drake wood duck, which is very deserving of the cover. So congratulations. I'm going to bring the volume down just a little bit, and then we'll play through some of these. And I'll just stop on the ones that I think are really good and say why I like them. So let's do a react video. Yep, there it is. Woo! Good cover. Oh yeah, there's a scene here with all these prairie dogs and a black-footed ferret. Again, ooh, so I went after this bird. So this is a leucistic broad-tailed hummingbird that had been seen around Littleton, and there had actually been one seen up in the foothills too. So I chased after this guy and never found him. But yeah, this leucistic broad-tailed hummingbird is awesome. So leucism is where they just don't get the pygmy in their the color of their feathers, so they just are all white. So yeah, really cool find here and an awesome shot. Another hummingbird that looks like a rufous. Yep, bird of Colorado right there. You see those all over the place. Good shot in the snow too. Yeah, look at the elk shot with the velvet. Yeah, man. See, this is why my elk shot didn't get picked. Sandhill crane. And again, it's not all wildlife, Colorado Outdoors. There's also like landscape stuff in here. And there's actually a storm photo that made it in here too. I'll stop on that later. The avocets, awesome. And yeah, this bear, I've seen this photo. I think this was Roxborough Park area, I think, where this bear was being seen up in that tree. That's a cool shot. Again, yeah, Western Meadowlark. This is a stunner. That bald eagle with that background. Oh my goodness, that is awesome. Yeah, I had a yellow legs photo that I thought was pretty good. I thought about submitting, but I never did. So I'm glad to see someone's made it in here. Cool shot. Yeah, bittern. Oh yeah, Northern Lights seen pretty good a couple of times here in Colorado this year. I have actually seen the Northern Lights in Colorado before. It's a long time ago, and it was not to the naked eye. I could only see it if I were doing like really long exposures on my camera. So yeah, this was a good show. Yeah, this is good for Colorado. A lot of times Northern Lights in Colorado just are pretty disappointing. So to see have good Northern Lights a couple days, that was really cool. Well, there it is. Told you. See, I'm not lying. I actually made it in. There's my Groove Build Ani. So awesome. Actually, funny thing about this. I had submitted my photos, and then before I had even taken this, I had submitted those other ones, and then I got this one and submitted it standalone, and that was on like a day before the deadline, and then at the end of October, I got a reply that was just from them, from Colorado Outdoors. They were like, "Oh, this is a cool shot. Like, so what's the story here? Like, tell us about this. And I was like, oh yeah, it was hasn't been seen in Colorado since like 2019, and it was in Arvada, and just gave kind of the story about the photo. And then I never heard another word back from them about it. So I wasn't sure if they were going to use it, or, well, they never really got back to me. So maybe they moved on to something else. So I was happy to see that I actually made it. Kestrel. Ooh, snake. Nice. That's a good shot. Oh, this is a really cool camera perspective trick. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Cool shot. Ooh, man, bloody nose, big horns. That's a cool shot. That's a cool shot. Really cool. Ball colors, yeah. That's pretty cool to see a mallard with a fish. That's pretty cool. That's cool. Not sure what that is. Fish teeth? A little sparrow. Black-footed ferret. Sandhill cranes, of course. That is a oriole. Is that a Bullock's oriole? I'm not sure what's yelling at it, though. Oh, that's a cool shot. Cool. Yeah, you can see the moose here with the velvet still hanging on a little bit on their antlers. That's cool. I think that was those barn owls from Bar Lake where they had that nest. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, Virginia rail. Very cool shot here. They're hard to see. They're kind of like that bittern, where it's just hard to see sometimes because they're very hidden, secretive. Cool. Cool. I like that. Anytime you get those colorful birds with the snow is really cool. Ooh, that's a great shot. See, that's something I want to start doing a little bit more of. When I'm out is kind of doing, not being so zoomed in all the time on the actual wildlife, but making a more sort of wildlife landscape kind of stuff. I'd love to start doing that more. Oh, little killdeer with little baby killdeer. Little spotted towhee, which is again is a cool bird to photograph. They're very colorful and they've got those red eyes. Oh, the coyote and the badger. Yeah, I think that was out of the arsenal. Oh, yes, of course. Very famous spot. The Dancing Aspens. I think it's down by Telluride somewhere. Very famous spot. Ah, I know this photo. So here you go. I had one of my viewers emailed me. Said, hey, I saw that you had mentioned at the end of one of your videos about open submissions to Colorado Outdoors. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to send some of mine in. So this, Matt, is his shot of the glossy ibis. So congratulations, dude. See, there you go. It's a great shot. Love the drops of water frozen there in time. And yeah, down low, right eye level. Woo, this is a good shot. Well deserved to get in. So congrats, man. And thanks for sending me such a nice email. Funky horn. Cool. Oh yeah, this is the cow elk that had sort of that leucism, was like a piebald sort of cow elk. That's that white in her face there. Good shot. Yeah, see, there you go. A supercell photo made it in here. So that's cool. That is, of course, most people know, my old haunting grounds. I should submit a bunch of tornado photos, yeah. I like that shot. It's a really good, moody shot here. I like this shot. Oh, fish hate him. John Martin Reservoir. Yep, again, another reason why my elk shot didn't get picked. Really, really good shot here. Like this. Cool. Yep, those little fox kits, man, especially when they have like the black fur, they make such good shots. Wild turkey. Ooh, good shot. Good shot. A little leisurely bunting. That's another one. I had a pretty good shot that I was like, oh, maybe that's something that, you know, not a lot of people would think to submit. A leisurely bunting photo. Maybe I'll submit mine, but then I didn't. And so again, glad to see that someone else's did. And their photo is better than mine was. This photo. Okay, hang on. Nope. This photo. This is it. This is it. It is indeed it. This is my favorite photo from the issue. And I went and found the photo this is from Constance Mahoney. So here is the full video, or the full photo on her Instagram. To me, in my personal opinion, that is the photo of the issue. It is so good. I love everything about it. The subject is obviously great. Man, it's just great. I just love it. I love all of the contrast at the bottom of these aspens, and their brown stands out so well against the white and the gray. And you see the cub down here and the other cub up there, and mom obviously very concerned. It's just such a good photo. Yeah, this is my favorite photo of the issue. So Constance Mahoney. Looks like, I think she is based out of Crested Butte. So, yeah, well done there. Yeah, that's my favorite photo. Yellow-headed blackbird. That's a cool shot. Rabbit's missing chunk here. That's a little swift fox. I've seen those out east while storm chasing, like just off in the distance or very far away. I would love to go out and try to make some good photographs of them at some point. Oh, there you go. Nice little. It's that little red morph screech. Kind of looks like something that might be back up on my wall. Ooh, love the waxwing. Ooh, love the cinnamon teal. Oh, American Dipper. Dipping. Osprey with a fish and a red-winged blackbird with it. That was a cool shot. Little fawn. An oversaturated sunset. Sorry. Another oversaturated sunset. Sorry. Love that fox shot. That's really cool. Yep, that's good. Oh, that is pretty cool. That's a very unique shot. Oh yeah, that's a good shot too. That's an interesting shot. And this bear was from Waterton Canyon. And you can see in the background there is a bunch of water falling down this dam that sometimes when there's enough snow melt and enough water in the spring, it'll overflow this dam. Again, this is another one of those things where I was like, oh, I should go check that out, but I never did. So, boo on me. Oh, mountain goat. That's a really nice shot. Another wood duck. Cool. Ooh, a northern cardinal, which is rare for Colorado. Fox kits. Beaver. Landing duck. Really pretty fall colors. That's a good shot. Hummingbird. Oh, feeding hummingbirds. That's cool. Oh, that's a really cool shot. I like this. Any bear cub photo interactions are always good. Those badgers out at the arsenal. I've never personally seen them. That's a cool shot with the pelican. Little northern flicker, cool. Avocet. Oh, there's that. It's that mule deer that's been seen out of, again, at the Rocky Mountain Arsenal with the third sort of antler, which is just crazy. Cool shot. That's a cool shot too. Oh, the pronghorn, the horn is horn down. Cool shot. The owl. Another wild turkey. Oh, fox kits hunting. That's a cool shot. This looks like a camera trap shot, right? Where they have a camera trap set up. The photographer themselves isn't actually there. It's like a camera trigger system. That's what I think this photograph is. Good shot. Maybe I should have, or as I say, maybe I should have pushed a little bit harder on my burrowing owl shot. Because, I mean, this is a good shot. And actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, like the composition is what makes it a really good shot, right? It's not that it's a great shot of the owl. It's just a really good scene there. So actually, at first I was like, well, my burrowing owl shot's better than this. But they're just two different kinds of shots. That's a cool shot. This is the back cover, which is taken by photographer Blake Hess, who is well-known photographer here in Colorado. And I've never actually met Blake in person, but obviously I see his stuff on Instagram and everywhere. And man, his bird in flight shots are just, they are just on a level that I'm just like, man, how does he do it? But man, really, really, really great shot here. And this was the back cover of the, right there. So really, really great shot here. So, but anyways, that is it for the video. So, but yeah, those are just sort of my reactions to the shots. Again, as always, man, there's so many good photographers here in Colorado, and the fact that one of my photos gets picked, even if it's a small little square in the issue, is such an honor to me. And yeah, here is the page where mine is. So yeah, really cool. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. and we will. I've got a coming up. Ecuador, man, we're so close. It's gonna be crazy. Like I said, I think I'm gonna do a gear I'm taking to Ecuador video. So that'll be coming up, and I've got another video of a new series that I'm starting for 2025. That I'm gonna start working on probably tomorrow, editing. So look for that coming soon. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.